Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary beings. So, welcome back to the Monster Hunter Frontier Armor tier list. Uh, Last time we talked about the three Ravientes. We talked about both the Whip Wyverns, except for one. We're gonna save him for last. Uh, Mainly because he has a specific mechanic to his armor, I believe. I don't know. We talked about our first Zenith, both the Scorpions and most of these monsters. So here we go. Disu Feora, I already got it pulled up. Edgemaster Ice in 3 worlds, and then it gets rid of Wide Area, which is not terrible. And it slowly starts getting better. Okay. And then whatever these are going to be. So Lone Wolf is not bad for solo builds. Shirogari is not terrible. Reflect can be used for many things. Charge attack up has its uses. And evade distance is mid. Ooh, but this gets critical shot. Still, nope. Steady hand, exploit weakness, bullet saver is not bad. Mounting is pretty good. And rage is mid. Um, so far, no. Just this entire build is just kind of mid. It has its moments with really good stuff. Like, Shurigari is broken. I think if you've played Frontier at all, you would know that. And Lone Wolf is really fucking good for solo builds. I think Disu Feora is mid. Just for its armor. Also, he does not apply, I just realized. So, real quick, I am not going to account for event armors. He has no armor because he gives you nothing. If he does, though, send me a message, and I will gladly fix that. Is this who I think it is? Yeah, it is. So Daira, we're gonna look at his G rank build because I already know so much about his low rank build, and it's pretty mid. But his G rank build, ooh, it's not half bad. I'm gonna have to look up what Hunter does, but outside of that. Alright, let's look up what Hunter does. Hunter. Map is always displayed. Makes it easier to fish and barbecue. Map and large monster locations are always displayed. Makes it easier to fish and barbecue. Okay, it's fine. The level 1 version is fine, because evasion's really nice, Ison is always good, and hearing protection is always a nice thing to have. Just gets better here. I feel like if you were to use the GF stuff, it would just be the arms, or sorry, not the arms, the legs, the waist, and then maybe if you feel like it, the chest. Okay, here's where it gets good. So, instead of Hunter for the helmet, you get charge attack up, not bad. Movement speed up, not bad. For the chest plate, instead of Hunter, you get focus and survivor, not bad at all. Uh, Ooh, so you could probably use the head and arms for charge attack up and vitality. Not bad, okay. The waist has focus and weakness exploit, and the greaves have focus and rage. That's not bad, actually. Oh, this gives you light tread instead. Ooh. Yeah, this isn't bad at all. Ooh, okay, so rapid fire up and steady hand is really, really good as a combination. Not half bad. Focus, bullet saver. Focus doesn't really work on anything. Steady hand and mounting. Okay. Focus and Lone Wolf would be way better. And Focus and Weakness Exploit is probably the best degrees that you could get base G rank. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. I would say that it's super good for what you want to go for. Like, okay, so you probably want to get this to GX because the GF stuff is like nothing. But Focus and Rage is not a bad combo. Um, Focus and Exploit Weakness is also not a bad combo, but you can also combine that with Charge Attack up and Vitality, and then If you want to go for the full set, though, you could all of this stuff would mix, so it'd probably be even better. Um, I'd probably say A tier because if you love Diura, then or Diuragura, then it's not half bad at all. In fact, I'd probably say that's a pretty fucking good. Um, Elzelian, as I like to call him. Not Venom, it's not Elegance, it's not Hypnoc. I actually don't know what his armor is. It's definitely not Wrath, it's that. Lightning, White Hypnoc, Raviante, Dora, Dread, Conqueror, Kaiser, Ruko, Kieran, Zena, Elzalian. He's right at the bottom. So I actually do use some of Zelian's armor for mix sets. And from what I've been using, it's not bad. Ceaseless, Crit Conversion, Ison, Expert, Vigorous for the helmet. Ceaseless, Crit Conversion, Ison, Stylish Assault, Stylish. Not bad at all for the chest plate. For the arms, all that, but replace Ison with Ice Age. Not terrible, actually. Strong Attack and Vampirism. For the coil, Ceaseless, Ison, Experts, Thunderclad, and Adaption. Uh, eh. I think Adaption is the main part of that that's really fucking good, combining that with Ceaseless and Expert. But, eh. And then the Greaves are, like, really, really good for Blade Master, because it's Ceaseless, Ison, Sword God. Ice Age is just kind of on there, and then 3 Worlds for whatever. And then all of these just get buffed in the GF version, and in the GX version, all of these get buffed, but even more. Okay, more defense, pretty much. For the cap, uh, it is Ceaseless, Strong Attack, Blazing Grace, Ice Age, and also 3 Worlds. Kinda not great. But for the vest, Ceaseless, Strong Attack, Bullet Saver, Gentle Shot, and Steady Hand is really good if you know how to use it correctly. For the guards, it's Ceaseless, Strong Attack, Evasion Boost, Mounting, and Steady Hand. You could definitely combine that with something like the Diura gear. You could probably combine that with Disu if you feel like it. Um, and then this is where it kind of goes a little weird. The coat is Ceaseless, Strong Attack, Thunderclad, Drawing Arts, and also Steady Hand. So I could see it working, but eh. And for the leggings, you have Ceaseless, Strong Attack, Vigorous, Vampirism, and 3 Worlds. Do these get... They get slightly buffed for a few of these. Like, Ceaseless goes from 3 to 4. And then... Yeah, okay. So far, Elzelian is probably one of the hardest monsters to get an armor set for. I also changed around the little bottom parts, by the way, if you didn't notice, but Elzelian is really, really good for uh mix sets. It's really fucking good for mix sets. In fact, I would argue that some of its armor pieces are probably the best armor pieces that you could get that are not Zenith gear. For example, the helmet's really good if you just feel like going for a more defensive build. The mail is really, really, really good if you want to go for a full-on chest build, or uh, a full-on dodge build. And the coil and greaves are also pretty good, but I would say the main drawing point is the arms, because Ceaseless combined with Vampirism is already really good, and then also combine that with the fact that you get Ice Age, and Crit Conversion makes it even better, and then Strong Attack is just a little dollop of whipped cream on top if you like whipped cream. Whipped cream's pretty good, in my opinion, but I don't know. And then for the gunner set, I would probably say that the best part is probably the legs, which is 3 Worlds, Vampirism, Vigorous, Ceaseless, and also Strong Attack. 3 Worlds is just kind of on there, and you don't really have to use it. Actually, it's between the legs and the guards. because the legs and the guards both have ceaseless strong attack, but also the arms have evasion boost while they have vigorous, and mounting is really good, and so is steady hand. Like, Ilzelian is hard, but if you are good enough at the fight, I would say that the full set is probably worth using for like combinations and stuff. So that's gonna be an S tier. Is that above Dora? Yes, so it's above Dora and it's above uh Berserk Raviente. Espinas. The Espinas build 4G rank, from what I remember, is not half bad. It's not great, but it's not half bad from what I remember. I'm also gonna have to come back down here for elegance, because that's white Espinas. Uh, Tisu, Kiddo, Espinas. Okay. So for the the main build for Blade Master is an elemental gun lance build with strong attack, guard, elemental attack, and gunnery, which is artillery in this game. Not half bad. And then you go down to the rest of the stuff in GF, and it's even better, getting gunnery to 7 instead of 6. And then the rest of these are even better, in my opinion, depending on depending on what you're trying to go for. So everything stays the same, but you get vitality for the head, you get weakness exploit for the chest plate, you get iron arm for the arms, and then you also get movement speed for the waist and survivor for the legs, which is kind of okay. I would say probably the best part if you're trying to go for DPS entirely would be the chest plate for exploit weakness, which is not half bad, and vitality if you're trying to go for defense. And then for the gunner stuff, strong attack, auto reload, steady hand, and gunnery. But for the head, you get 3 worlds. For the chest, you get vitality. For the arms, you get steady hand. For the waist, you get exploit weakness. And for the legs, you get evade distance. I would say probably the best part is the arms. Oh, wait, hold on. So the arms and the chest plate have uh strong attack, rage, elemental attack, and gunnery, but also vitality and steady hand. Okay. I would say that the arms are probably the best part though, just because steady hand is so fucking stupid. It's really good, but this set is C tier. Disu is also above like right head knock. Is it better than Disu? There is better than his. Yes, I would say so. Orange Espinas. Orange Espinas has always been weird, or Flaming Espinas if you know him from uh mainline. Uh wasn't wasn't his at like the bottom or something for some reason? Yep, it was. Um Stylish Assault, Encourage, Three Worlds Expert. Not bad. Not bad at all. Hmm. Okay. So the helmet gets Status Assault. Not actually that bad. It's really good for specific builds that you want to go for, and so on and so forth. The chest plate gets Stylish. The arms get Blazing Grace. The waist gets Vigorous, and the legs get Strong Attack. I would say the best part about the Blade Master build, though, is probably the legs. Stylish Assault is already really good. Three Worlds is really good in general. Expert and Strong Attack is already really fucking good. But also combining that with Encourage so that you don't get stunned is so much better. And then for the Gunner build, we have Style Assault, Encourage, Steady Hand, and Expert on all of them. Let me see if there's any change. Yeah, you get Encourage. That's about it, though. For the helmet, you get Star Assault, Encourage, Steady Hand, Expert, Gentle Shot. For the chest, you get Bullet Saver. For the arms, you get Blazing Grace. For the waist, you get Vigorous. And for the legs, you get Strong Attack. Again, Style Assault kind of snasty, though. And Steady Hand is even better. So combining that with Strong Attack and combining that with maybe Bullet Saver, definitely not Gentle Shot. I always forget what that does. Gentle. Gentle Shot. Grants a... Oh, load up and recoil reduction. Actually, okay, so you might... Yeah, okay, so all of these are not half bad. All of these are not half bad, maybe except for the waist, and maybe except for the arms, depending on who you're talking to, but... Overall, pretty good. Better than these two. Yeah. And then White Espinasse. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. White Espinasse is... For Soul, Wrath, or, oh, goodness. I believe it's Elegance. That's Inagami. Oh, yeah, no, it's Weiss for some or it's Weiss for some reason. Yeah, here it is. So for the helmet and for everything else, I guess, it's Rage, Ison, Edgemaster, and Fencing. Not bad. It's really good DPS-wise, because Rage is really good, Edgemaster is pretty good. Fencing is really good, and Ison is really good as well. Fencing is probably the best part about that, though. For the helmet, and also everything gets buffed. For the helmet, you get Incitement, which is not great. For the chest plate, you get Exploit Weakness, probably the best thing. For the arms, you get Herbal Science, not bad. For the waist, you get 3 worlds. It's fine, not great, not awful, but fine. And for the legs, you get Reflect. I would say the best part is 100% the chest, just because Exploit Weakness is way too good, combined with Rage, Edgemaster, and also Fencing. And then for the Gunner, you get Rage, Ison, Critical Shot, and also Status Res, which is pretty good. Alright, for the helmet, you get Bullet Saver. For the chest, you get 3 worlds. For the arms, you get Combo Expert. Actually pretty good. For the waist, you get Mounting. And for the helmet, you get Incitement. I would probably say that Combo Saver and Bullet Saver are pretty fucking good. Or Combo Expert and Bullet Saver. So, for context, Combo Expert makes it so that it's easier to combine things for ammo, which is very, very good, especially with how healthy these fucking monsters are. So, I would say that's probably the best, but I don't know, maybe somebody else would have something to say about that. Bullet Saver is already really good, and yeah, I mean, it's a good DPS build. Do I need to tell you anything? I would say that's probably above Avio. And Boga's just gonna stay where he is for now. Next up on the list, we have Forenoku. Forenoku is an annoying-ass monster, so if it has anything good, because it's way far behind, I probably would be super surprised. Uh, or... No, yeah, it's Forenoku. Rakuru is the next dude we're talking about. Who... Yeah, okay. So, his build is status-themed. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me see. Yeah, okay, this is the right one. Is it status-themed? That's weird. Okay. Orinoku. Its base G rank stuff gives you vitality, strong attack, evasion, and status attack. Not bad. And I would say that the chest plate's probably the main thing, because it gives you quite a lot. Did I say vitality or say vanity? I don't know. But it's vitality, as you can see. And then the rest of the build, whenever you get it to GX, is actually not that bad. And I'm a little pissed off about that, but you know. Farnoku Helm gives you the or sorry, let me preface this. These armors are now slightly different. So now they have Vitality, Strong Attack, Evasion, Artisan, for the helmet. Vitality, Strong Attack, Artisan, Status Attack for the chest. And yeah, so it's just gonna switch between the two. So if it's number one, then it's Vitality, Strong Attack, Evasion, Artisan. If it's number two, it's did I say it? If it's number one, it's that. If it's for number two, it's Vitality, Strong Attack, Artisan, Status Attack. Okay, so Head is a number one. That gives you Encourage, which is not bad. The Chest is a number two. That gives you Survivor. The Arms are a number two, which gives you Rage, which is actually not that bad. The Folds are a number one. That gives you Exploit Weakness. Mm-hmm. Uh, and the legs are number one that gives you 3 worlds. I would say the best part about all of this is the fact that you get Artisan, the fact that you get Evasion, kind of fucking busted. But I think the best one will have to go to the Waste for DPS and the Greaves for defense if you feel like it. Meanwhile, though, the Gunner build, which I would actually argue about making if you want to make a status Gunner build, but that's besides the point. The Forenoku helmet gives you, or all of them, for the base G armor, gives you Vitality, Strong Attack, Taijutsu, Taijutsu, and Status Attack. And to catch myself there, because I was like, does that say what I think it does? Yeah, it does. Ah, okay. So, the helmet and the chest are different. I'm just gonna read out what they have. The Forenoku cap gives Vitality, Strong Attack, Taijutsu, Auto Reload, and Lone Wolf. The chest plate gives Vitality, Strong Attack, Auto Reload, Status Attack, and Crystal Res. Not half bad. The guards give you Vitality, Strong Attack, Auto Reload, Status Attack, and Steady Hand. Not bad. The coat gives you Vitality, Strong Attack, Taijutsu, Auto Reload, and Weakness or Exploit Weakness. Not bad. Vitality, Strong Attack, Taijutsu, Auto Reload, and Bullet Saver for the leggings. I would probably say the guards are the best. If you want to go for status. If you want to go for base DPS, though, I'd probably say the cap. If you're willing to run with Lone Wolf. And if you're not willing to run with Lone Wolf, the coat is the best. But, yeah, okay. Surprisingly, not a terrible set. I guess we'll just start comparing Boga to all of the Zeniths. Because Boga is also Zenith. So let's go back down. Let's put Boga with the Zeniths. It'll be the first one, just in case. Forakuru. Forakuru is a monster that uses a lot of status, so that's why I was a little confused on why Forenoku had status instead of Forakuru. But I don't know. We will just have to see. Oh yeah, we also didn't look at this. The plunder stuff is really good. Forgot to mention that. And that's Baru's stuff, and then Baru's stuff is right here. Anyway, Fornoku should be, I think it is. Yeah, here it is. It's the Frankie set. So, this set is really weird. It's the opposite of the Plunder set, and it kind of runs like a defensive set for some reason, but I don't know. So, the base armor for a G rank gives you the Drug Knowledge skill, the 3 worlds, or it gives you 3 worlds, eating, and then Ison. So, speed eating, Ison, 3 worlds and drug knowledge is not bad. Combine that, and then get it up to GX. Is uh, Rage for the helmet, Reflect for the chest, Vitality for the arms, Encourage for the waist, and Reinforcement for the legs. This is not a bad defensive set, but if you don't like having to run drug knowledge, which, hold on. So, this is what drug knowledge does. The attack power of a weapon with status attributes is increased by 0.25 times the status value, and status damage is dealt every hit, so it basically just means you do more status damage. If you don't want to have to run a status weapon, I wouldn't recommend it. But overall, the head's kind of fine. I'm trying to make an excuse for this not to be D tier, low or high D tier. Sorry, low D tier, F tier. Oh hey, okay, this is the only thing that is saving it right now. The fact that the gunner build is not bad. Focus, strong attack, bullet saver, 3 worlds. Now that is a good build. And then for the GX armor, you get Rage for the helmet, Combo Expert for the chest plate. Negative reinforcements for the guards. I don't know why. The waist gives you Encourage, and the boots give you Vitality. The helmet's not bad. Yeah, no, that's low D tier. Above Raviente. Let me check the G rank Raviente build, and then we'll look. And then we'll start judging. Shit. No, it's only Berserk. It's only Berserk and Extreme. Damn, that's unlucky. Yeah, no, that's not even remotely worth it. Ah, shit, my bad. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, it's better than this, but just for the gunner set. And that's sad. Yoruba Deora. Right. This build is very infamous for me because it's not half bad, but it gets worse over time, from what I can remember. Wind is Kushala. Storma, Alterna, Mariganasu. Oh yeah, by the way, Foru's Go set is not bad at all. It just kind of sucks for one reason and one reason only, and that's because leveling it up sucks major ass. Outside of that, though, it's not terrible. Like, Focus Artisan, Eating Expert, but that's besides the point. Garuba. Garuba has Assistance, Expert, Crystal Res, and Fencing for the helmet. Assistance, Expert, Crystal Res, and Wide Area for the chest plate. Focus on the arms, Guard on the waist, and Sharpness on the legs. Once you level that up, nothing really changes, but they get buffed. But if you level that up to FX, it's instead Assistance, Expert, Crystal Res, Fencing, and Artisan for the helmet. And this is my problem with the goddamn set. It's not bad. It just needs something extra except for fucking Assistance. Sorry about that. Sorry, but it gets Artisan for everything, basically. Which makes it not terrible, which is my problem with the build, but I don't know. The exact same for the G rank, or the base G rank build, but it's buffed a bit. Is it always Sharpness? Yeah, it is. The FX build is the exact same, but everything gets buffed. Expert goes to 7, which is not terrible. And then, that's it. Well, let's go on to the Gunner build. I wish that was it. I don't know why it doesn't go higher, because the The GF build is terrible. It's terrible for when you have the stuff to get it, because you need GR4 stuff, which you could just run a completely different build and get more out of it than Garuba. Well, okay, here's one thing it does really good. The helmet is really good, and the legs are really good for Blade Master, and that's about it. But you're meant to keep this until GR5, which is bullshit. Anyway, the helmet, or the snarl, aka the cap, for Garuba is status res, precision for the chest plate, um, auto reload for the arms, evasion for the waist, and recoil for the legs. Pretty much nothing changes. And then, here we go. The head gives you precision, the chest gives you recoil, uh, and also precision for some reason. Oh, it always has precision, never. The arms give you auto reload. Sorry, it gives you status res. Um, the waist also gives you auto reload, and the legs give you precision. Eh, eh, they're fine. They get buffed, and then they get buffed again. That's about it. I mean, I mean, auto reload and recoil is not terrible. I would say probably the best one is the waist though, and then you just kind of throw it out the minute that you get something better. Yeah, compared to some of the actual G rank builds, kind of like Bright Hypnoc, it's actually not terrible, but is it better than Disu? Not by a long shot. We're gonna look at Gessura. So we're gonna look at Gessura in two ways. We're gonna look at Gessura's Go build, and then we're gonna look at his G rank build. Because his Go build is entirely different from his G rank build. Um, it's surprisingly decent if you know what you're doing, but it's fucking terrible if you don't. You kind of see my problem with some of the Go builds not being all that good, and some of the G rank builds being for Oku or for Rakuru. Um, they're all just not like great, but they're not terrible. If that makes any sense. Uh, Uridamosu. Not Gasura. Oh, here is Gasura. Gasura. Fencing attack, guts, quake res. For the head, for for the heterosexual. No, for the head. For the chest plate, status attack. Sorry. Let me do this again. For the chest plate, stamina, attack, evasion, quake res is not terrible. For the arms, sharpness, attack, guts, status attack. That's where I got that. For the waist, stamina, attack, evasion, quake res. And then for the legs, fencing, attack, evasion, status attack. For the base Go set, no upgrades, I would probably say that the helmet is really good for fencing, attack, and guts. But if you want to go for a status build, then it's the legs. The rest of this is just kind of bad, except for the arms, maybe? Which you could combine with the legs, and then I would say the waist if you want to combine that with the arms, but outside of that, the waist and the chest combine into a really good thing, the arms and the legs combine into a really good thing, and the helmet is just mid. Or the helmet is just really good if you know what you're doing. Alright, time for the FX build. For the helmet, it's fencing attack, guts, quake res, and expert. For the chest plate, you get status attack, or sorry, status res. For the arms, you get stamina recovery. For the waist, you get artisan. And for the legs, you get adrenaline. Okay, so the helmet is still really good. So combine that with the waist and the legs, and you could make a really goddamn good build if you know what you're doing for your chest plate and your arms. Problem, and I'm gonna point this out for this exclusively, because this is a different build practically. This needs Dora to supremacy scales. If you know me, Dora Supremacy Scales suck to grind. So, already not off to a great start, and not to mention, if you're playing on the Rain server, you're going to need even more of those. So it's not great, but it could be even better. So I would probably say just give it a second, and then the build could get slowly better. So Yasura right now for the Go sets is like A tier, S tier, but then you get into the G rank build. And the G rank build right now just doesn't change. The GX build, however, Sword God, Strong Attack, Rage, 3 Worlds Expert for the helmet. Um, Drawing Arts, Strong Attack, Exploit Weakness, 3 Worlds, and Status Res for the chest plate. Sword God, Strong Attack, Rage, Drug Knowledge, and Combat Supremacy for arms. Not bad at all. Um, Drawing Arts, Strong Attack, Exploit Weakness, 3 Worlds, and Artisan for the waist. Pretty fucking good. And Sword God, Strong Attack, Evasion, Drug Knowledge, and also Vigorous for the Greaves. Not bad at all. It's really, really good if you're willing to grind, uh, Gasura. And also, apparently, Gyaradomosu. I don't know why you're grinding Gyaradomosu. Why are you grinding Gyaradomosu? Okay, well, either way, it's not a terrible build, which is the weird part. It is a surprisingly good GX build, but you have to grind the shit out of a very, very annoying monster for some people, which is what makes it not that great. I would say probably the best part is the arms. If you can combine that with all the other stuff that's on it, including Drug Knowledge, because it's not terrible for a status attack. So I would say that the arms are probably the best part if you're going for a status build, but if you're going for an all-rounder build, I would say the Falds. Because Artisan is good, Drawing Arts is really good, Strong Attack is just good. Like, all the stuff on it is just good. So then, the cap gives you combining, attack, guts, and quick res. The vest gives you stamina, attack, evasion, quake res. It's practically all the same except fencing was swapped out for combining. So the arms give you combining, attack, guts, elemental attack. The coat gives you stamina, attack, evasion, quake res, and the legs give you combining, attack, evasion, and elemental attack. Not terrible, but the FX build, not bad either. Combining attack, guts, quake res, expert, stamina, for the helmet, sorry. For the chest plate, stamina, attack, evasion, quake res, status res. Not terrible either. For the arms, combining attack, guts, elemental attack, stamina recovery. For the waist, you get looting. And for the legs, you get adrenaline. Adrenaline is very underrated in some other games. In this game, I think it's overused, but it's really good, so you know. And now for the GX build, which is surprisingly good. For the GX build, you get a Bullet Saver, Strong Attack, Rage, 3 Worlds, and Expert. Really fucking good. For the vest, you get Drawing Art, Strong Attack, Exploit Weakness, 3 Worlds, and Status Reds. Not terrible either. But here's where it goes different than the other build. For the guards, Bullet Saver, Strong Attack, Rage, Dissolver, and Combat Supremacy. So why am I pointing out Dissolver so much? That's an element. That's used for element. So it kind of changes what this build was meant to be for. Because it's elemental, if you couldn't tell from the rest of these. So just changed out elemental attack for Dissolver, which is not terrible. For the coat, you get drawing arts, attack, weakness, exploit weakness, 3 worlds, and mounting. And for the legs, you get bullet saver, strong attack, evasion, dissolver, vigorous. If you level this shit up, and this is just the Go set, if you level this shit up even more, it is unironically really good. If you can mix this with so many builds. It's really, really good. But this Garuga, sorry. There's a G and then I'm just like, oh yeah. Uh Give me a split second so I can find the Gessera build. I think it's the Venom? Purple Gypseros, nope. Elegance. Emperor. Oh. Can't wait to talk about Garuba. Sulfural? No, that's Haruto. Oh, it's Wrath. The Wrath build is kind of okay, which is why the Go build is so great. But the base G rank stuff is Drawing Arts Expert 3 World Rage. It doesn't give you that much 3 worlds, and it doesn't give you that much rage. So it's not amazing, but it's not terrible either. But then you get to GX, and now you have 4 on both of those and 6 on Drawing Arts and Expert. The helmet gives you Ison, the chest gives you Combat Supremacy, the arms give you Vigorous, the waist gives you Edgemaster, and the legs give you Sword God. Is it better than Dora? Not better than him, but it's better than Dora. Yasura's build is really fucking good if you know what you're doing. It's surprisingly good, even in the Go build, to the point where it's unironically worth just running a full Go set, because it's not half bad. So, just saying, if you want to run something like that, go ahead. Gyarugu. Gyarugu. Let's go to Gyarugu. Alright, Gyarugu. Major weirdage going on there. Anywho, Gyarugu. Shiragari, already really fucking good start. Strong attack, not bad. Stamina recovery, really good. And gunnery, probably one of the best builds for Gunlance. And then you go over to the GX build, which they changed so much to the point where it's just kind of okay. So, they changed it. The helmet gives you Shiragari, strong attack, artisan, gunnery, and charge attack up. I would say this would be better if fucking charge attack up worked on Gunlance at all. It doesn't, I don't think. I don't know, I'd love to be proved wrong. The Gyarugu male gives you Shiragari, strong attack, negative reinforcements for some reason. Gunnery and vitality. Meanwhile, the arms give you Shiragari, strong attack, artisan, gunnery, and movement speed. Meanwhile, the waist gives you Shiragari, strong attack, artisan, gunnery, and survivor. But for some reason, on the legs, they went Shiragari, strong attack, negative reinforcements again, gunnery, and reflect. If it didn't have negative reinforcements, if it didn't have -7 reinforcements, it would be even better. But no. They just had to nerf it. I would say it's probably... Hold on. It's probably up there with Espionage. Low B, high C, low B. It's a low B build, but it's not great. That's the weird part. It's not great, but it's not awful, if that makes any sense. Next up we have Gogamoa. Gogamoa. Alright. This build is actually not a terrible, like, beginner build for a GR3. Ison, Expert, Rage, and Drug Knowledge. So if you want to go for a status build that is purely DPS, like Tonfas or something, it's not terrible. Um, for the GX build, and I want to mention, Ice and Expert, Rage, and Drug Knowledge is all of them. And then it gets buffed in GF, and in GX, you get Ice and Expert, Rage, Drug Knowledge, Encourage for the helmet, 3 Worlds for the chest, Vampirism for the arms, um, Compensation for the waist, and Vitality for the legs. Compensation is weird. I think I just spelled it wrong. Yep. Compensation. Compensation. Here's what it does. Grants the effect of Death God's Embrace, Sharpness +1, Attack Up Absolute, Evasion in Critical Eye 4. It's not terrible, but it doesn't give it to you. So you have to rather buy more Gogamoa stuff, so you have the chance of getting compensation and also vampirism. And so on and so forth. Also, Frontier devs, what the fuck is Death God's Embrace or whatever? So, I don't know what that does. I don't know what that does. I'm really hoping it just makes you do more damage. But yeah, it's not a bad beginner build though. I would say it's probably, I keep highlighting everything instead of grabbing them. It's probably better than Orange Espionage. Not better than Abio. Next up, Garuba Deora. So I'm gonna have a little bit of bias for Garuba Deora. I'm gonna have a little bit of bias. But the Emperor build, it's not bad. Alright, so the Guan Go helmet gives you attack, guts, hearing, protection, focus. The chest plate gives you attack, guts, hearing, protection, status attack. Not terrible. The waist gives you attack, guts, quake res, evasion. Oh, sorry. And the arms give you attack, guts, quake res, stamina recovery. The legs, though, are weird. They give you attack, guts, wind pressure, and expert. Just kind of alright. And then the head. So basically they just all get expert. They just all get expert except for the legs, which gets adrenaline, which is very good. So it's just better, in my opinion, than some other builds, but the grind for it is kind of iffy. That's the main problem with the Guanzuramu and the Guanzuramu build mainly. It's really good because it has attack, it has guts, which is not half bad. It gives hearing protection, which is really good, but it also gives expert on everything else except for the legs, which gets adrenaline. I think the best parts about this build are probably the legs, because attack, guts, wind pressure, expert, adrenaline is already really fucking good, and if you're going into HR6, which is supremacy and all that, you're gonna need the adrenaline, you're gonna need the wind pressure, and you're gonna need the guts, and you're gonna need all of those basically. So it's really good. The G rank armor doesn't change anything, so we're gonna skip to the GX. The GX build, unironically, unapologetically, is really good because of one of two skills that it gives for both. So, the helmet gives you lavish attack, strong attack, 3 worlds, focus, charge attack up. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Chest plate, or chest / the mail, gives you lavish attack, strong attack, 3 worlds, drug knowledge, and status assault. Which is weird because status assault gives you drug knowledge. But here's where it gets kind of fucking crazy. Here's where it gets a little too crazy to the point where you kind of can't ignore it. The arms give you lavish attack, strong attack, 3 worlds, combat supremacy, and compensation. So you're telling me that the Frontier devs decided giving Guanzarumu one of the best arms for Go stuff is fine, I guess. So that's pretty neat. The waist gives you lavish attack, strong attack, three worlds, evasion, and or sorry, not status assault, stylish assault. Really good combination. And then the legs give you lavish attack, strong attack, three worlds, expert, exploit weakness. Some of you might not know what lavish attack does, and that's fine. I don't expect you to know about lavish attack. Lavish attack increases attack power by 100 at the cost of additional sharpness per hit with Blade Master weapons. Additional 0.2 times multiplier on coatings at the coatings double consumption per thing. So Bullet Saber would be really good for that if that's the case. But you combine that shit with the fact that you have combat supremacy on this. You combine it with the fact you have compensation on this, which is even better. And you combine that with strong attack, which is even better than base compensation. It's a little busted, don't you think? It's a little good, to say the least. The only problem is needing to get all of this shit, which is Diura Heavy Tail, which I think is the hardcore part, and a lot of Toa stuff plus an Abyssal Origin Gem, which, if you don't know, kind of a pain in the ass to get, because you rather get it from Guridamosu at 5%, or you get it from Toa at 5%. Bit of a pain in the ass to do. But you know, if you're willing to grind for it, that's like some of the best arms that you can get, and you can combine that with another build that we're going to talk about at some point. And you know what? We'll skip to it if needed. But you combine that with another build that you can get, and it's really good. We don't even need to talk about the G rank armor because it's already really good, but Emperor / Conqueror. This is the exact one I wanted. So you combine that with the G rank build. The base G rank build is Lavish Attack, Ison, 3 Worlds Evasion for the helmet, Expert for the chest plate, Stylish for the arms, Drug Knowledge for the waist, and Expert for the legs. You could combine this base build with the arms already, or with the arms already, and you'd be able to use the chest plate and also the legs, and it would already be pretty goddamn good. But then you combine it with the fact that it's already buffed up at GF, and then you go over to the head, and it's absolute defense. So it's lavish attack, Ison, 3 worlds, expert, or sorry, not expert, evasion and absolute defense for the GX helmet. The chest is lavish attack, Ison, 3 worlds, expert, crit conversion. The arms get stylish and stylish assault, not half bad. The waist is drug knowledge and stylish assault, and the legs are expert and sword god. So, hear me out. The best combination that you could get for 3 pieces of armor is the Conqueror GX chestplate, the Conqueror GX legs, and then the GX Guan arms. So it's already really good. S tier. Above Berserk. Would it be above Azelion? Ceaseless and the combinations are a little too much. Yeah, no. It's better than Azelion. It's probably one of the better builds in general, and I think I might just have some bias, but I don't think so. Fucking lavish attack, combat supremacy, and the fact that you also get compensation, it's just like, a little too good. We're gonna skip over to Ruko. Ruko is special. He's very, very special. Because remember when I was talking about how you could combine this with a separate build that wasn't that? Ruko G Helmet. Lavish attack, crit conversion, sword god, status res, obscurity. Ruko chestplate, lavish attack, crit conversion, sword god, status res, drug knowledge. The arms give you lavish attack, crit conversion, sword god, status res, strong attack, and then the waist gives you fortification, and the legs give you ison. Go over to the GX build, and we're gonna talk about the other builds here in a second that are already really good, but you get the GX helmet, you get uh lavish attack, crit conversion, sword god, status res, and obscurity. The chestplate gives drug knowledge, not bad. The arms give strong attack. Ooh. The waist gives fortification. Ooh. And the legs give ison, so they're practically the same. Though, here's my favorite part about this build. Let me take a little sippy real quick, because I'm fucking thirsty. My favorite part is about the gunner build. The gunner build alone carries the fuck out of this armor set. Lavish attack, crit conversion, mounting, status res, and sniper for the head. Stylish assault for the chestplate. 3 worlds for the arms. Steady hand for the waist. And bullet saver for the legs. And then all of this gets buffed, basically. So, and yeah, they all stay the exact same. Okay, so you combine this, the helmet with, sorry, let me go back up. You combine the helmet alone with the Wanzarumu stuff, and that's already pretty fucking good. Then you get the waist, and you could make it even better. But I would say that fortification is not great, and also, you don't really need the status res, but if you want to go for a full all-rounder build, it would be Rookadeor head, Conqueror chestplate, Guan arms, Ruko waist, and then Conqueror legs. And then you could combine that with anything, and it would be really good. I'm not gonna lie. Would I grind for this? Probably yes. Because for the Ruko armor, all you need is just Ruko stuff, and then some random thing. Which I actually don't mind doing, because Ruko is a monster that I don't hate all that much in G rank. But yeah, Ruko's build is not amazing. Is it above? Yeah, it's definitely above all of these. So high A tier, low S tier. Definitely better than Dora's set, and I hate to say that, but it is true. And then we're also going to be talking about Rebodeora, Rookadeora's weird half-sibling. Rebodeora. He doesn't even have he doesn't even have, like, Conquer or Ruko. No, this guy doesn't get anything. No, but seriously. His build's not bad. It's fine. It's definitely meant for fighting a specific monster for something like that, from what I'm seeing. But it's fine. Rebodeora head is exploit weakness 6, pretty good. Strong attack, encourage, and also magnet res. And all of these give the exact same thing, so we'll move on. The head gives 3 worlds alongside all the other stuff that I just mentioned. Has it changed? Nope. The chestplate gives you charge attack up. Not bad. The arms give you Lone Wolf, and the waist gives you movement speed, and then finally the legs give you Shiragari. So far, it's not as good as Ruko, but it's better than Abio, it's not better than Gogumoa. Let's look at the Gunner build, though. The Gunner build gives you exploit weakness, strong attack, mounting, and then magnet res. Mounting is very weird because it's really good. But then on the GX armor, you get bullet saver, you get steady hand or bullet saver for the head, steady hand for the chest, a shirigari for the arms, not bad. Movement speed for the waist as always, and rapid fire for the legs. What I didn't mention though was that the chest plate, the arms, and the legs all give evade distance, which if you combine that is not terrible. So Remedeora is better than Abio. Yeah, it's better than Abio, and that's about it. Gyaradomosu we will talk about real quick, and then I guess I'll end the recording. Gonna Outside of all that, I need to remember what his armor even is called, because I don't like this monster enough to do that. Versa, Harda, not Karai, it's not Torta, it's not that, it's not Guan, it's definitely not. Oh yeah, it's Gerudo. Gerudo, or something, I don't know. Okay. The helmet gives you Vigorous, Elemental Attack, and Sharpness. And Vigorous and Elemental Attack are both the base skills. The chest plate gives you Eating and Attack. The arms give you Eating and Stun. The waist gives you Sharpness and Attack, so that's not terrible. But the legs also give you Sharpness and Quake Res, and you could probably combine that into something. But not all that great. The FX stuff, this also goes all the way down to GX, so we're going to talk about that. The FX stuff gives you evasion for the helmet, wind pressure for the chest, evasion for the arms, focus for the waist, and artisan for the legs. Artisan is very, very weird, because it works. It just works. And then Gerudo gets nothing for the G rank armor, which is fine. The GX armor, however, is completely different. Remember when I was talking about how... oh wait, hold on, no, the GF armor also gets something. The arms... Yeah, I think the arms are the only thing that changes. The arms get combat supremacy. What is it with the arms on these armors and not being half bad, though? Okay, so for the head, get Vigorous, Dissolver, Sharpness, Encourage, and Vampirism. Vigorous and Dissolver are the base things, so we're just going to talk about the rest. So far, this is not a bad elemental build. It's just kind of fine. For the chest plate, you get Eating, Icing, and 3 Worlds. For the arms, you get Eating, Encourage, and Combat Supremacy. And then for some reason, the waist and legs instead get 3 Worlds instead of Dissolver, but you know. The waist gives you 3 Worlds, Sharpness, Icing, and Charge Attack up. The legs give you 3 Worlds, Sharpness, Edge Master, and Exploit Weakness, which is not terrible. I would say probably the best part about this entire build is the legs, if you're not going for element, and then the arms if you are going for element. So, I would probably put him A tier above Deorex. Yeah. So yeah, that's the second part of this entire thing. Man, next time we're gonna be talking about this entire row of fuckers. And then Odie. There's 2 of my favorite monsters on here, and they both have kind of mid builds. So it's gonna hurt. Sorry. 4 of my favorite monsters on here, not including Odie. So Dude, talking about their build is gonna hurt. Though, I did find out a new build that I don't feel like making. Actually, no, that I do feel like making, sorry. So, if there's anything that I got wrong here that you think needs to be readjusted, or that you think needs changing because of a specific thing, or so on and so forth, feel free. I would be very, very glad to hear what you have to say about set building. Alright, you guys have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, and or night, and or afternoon, or whatever fucking time it is for you. Um, have a good one. I'll be seeing you next time. Bye bye!